So, what decks do we got here then?
Let's see. We've got. I believe Pie Boy was the one on Ad Nas, right?
Yeah, Pieboy's on Ad Nauseam Tendrils,
All right. And
and Lamfan is on. Well, I'd probably call it Blue Red Delver. He's called it Blue Red Adventure Control, and there are no Delvers in it, so it's probably appropriate not to call it Blue Red Delver, but it's got quite a strong feel of that deck.
yeah, definitely. I had the pleasure or pain to play against Lemfen a couple weeks ago, and I was playing Delvers. He was not, clearly, and all of those 2-for-1s that he had were just. It was just crush like it is bone crushing. You got
It's
like bone
actually
crusher.
so it's kind of a nice cast back on some way to call this control because it feels flash to the old times when control meant counter burn.
Yeah, it's nice. I think what it really achieves here is so much extra value, and that's something that playing like a tempo deck against, especially someone as talented as Lam Fan, is one of these Canadian that I've known for years, and he's so good with like just being able to. Oh wow, okay, so he's getting Thoughtseize here, but I mean
Yep,
you see
turn one
already he's got
Thoughtseize.
the Brazenbauer as well as the Bone Crusher in there, and his classic blacked out backgrounds for lands. I love
Ah,
the basic.
right, okay. Ah, he's showing
Yeah, I
them
think Lem
off.
was oh
Is that a Force
showing
of
off that
Will?
force. Is that it's not force? That was force of
I
will,
think
right?
it must be, because I think that's the only card I can see that was printed in that format.
Yeah, Lamb. I'm kind of surprised that I'll talk to him later about it, but he ran of that. But that would also be on one of his invocations, so it'd be pretty tough to get the full value if you're going to try to trade that back in.
So do you know the story of these accumulated knowledge that he's playing in this deck?
Oh, is he? Wow. So we just had like a what an M21 reprint, right? But it's just like instead of accumulated knowledge, it's do you know what that one's called?
I oh no, I can't think of the other one.
Yeah, but
Um,
basically the new one is like it's all one-sided, so you don't have to worry about potentially completely killing yourself if you cast your own accumulated knowledge, and they can take advantage of your accumulated knowledge in the graveyard. Um, but Lamb's got so what he did really well against me the other time was just kind of sitting back and just playing all these basics, and I think he's probably going to go that route as well this time. Just play basic and sit back with counter spells, sit back with Archmage's Charm.
yep, yep. Sounds like a plan. He's actually playing 3 Volks and 9 basics, which is there's definitely more lands in this deck than you would have in a traditional blue red Delver build.
Absolutely, yeah. What he's doing here is taking the foot off the gas pedal, and to just get extra value, being able to cast extra spells from adventure, so he can just stock up on hand. So
Yeah.
every single time, I swear, that match that I had against him, I looked up, I was like, "How many cards in hand?" He had like 6.
Yeah.
It's like either 6 or 7, and then he drops a Jace, and you're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yep.
But
There's
yep,
two
he's got
Jaces
couple
in the
Jaces in there.
deck. Although, what does he actually have against Storm main deck? It's
Well,
really
in this
preventing
case,
in him getting to Storm, because if he gets there, there's no Flusterstorm.
nah, no real Flusterstorm there. His sideboard is going to look pretty well suited for taking on here, but it's like right now he's looking pretty vulnerable, especially after that brainstorm that didn't really yield too much. I'm assuming he's just like showing his hand there, but I mean that one
Yeah.
unknown can't be that good. Maybe it's
Yeah, I mean,
counterspell.
I think Pieboy's just set up here. It's two thought seizes, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, Pie
Although
Boy,
interesting, I
for
don't think
watching
he's
that F6 go.
has he got the count in his graveyard for the Cabal ritual to get the 5? No, he didn't. So he's made a
He
whole bunch
needed
of
threshold for
mana.
that, right?
Yeah, it's threshold, and he was 4. Then it was the dark ritual. Then it was the Cabal ritual.
So let's see, 4 black mana there. Well, just got the Storm 2. Huh.
Yeah,
What are his options here?
Storm is
So,
2.
what if he tries to add Nas?
Yeah, I mean that would be an unusual plan for this deck.
Or just pass?
Yeah, that feels. I mean, maybe he's building his graveyard to threshold size. Because it's not like
Yeah,
he had a draw spell or anything there that he was looking for anything in particular. He did it and he passed.
it's possible that, well, it's only going to get worse from here if he keeps on passing. So, all
Yeah,
right.
or
Like
maybe it was a mistake because there was a
yeah,
pause there. So maybe it was make mana count and it wasn't quite right.
yeah. You got the end of turn flash in a brazen bar swinging in already. Well, I was
Yeah,
told by mods that we Pie Boy actually did not keep a land in one of his feature matches last time.
yeah,
So
I heard
a
that,
land.
and he's been told not to do it again.
Yep. I think the only time that I actually don't keep land is when I have like double force and I'm playing against a combo deck, and I'm like, all right, on Delver I can probably survive a couple turns and like try to just draw it, but even then it's really sketch.
I
All right.
think the only deck I keep no lands on is Oops All Spells.
Yeah. Oops, all
Well,
spells.
I'm Goblin Charbelcher.
Starbelcher. Yes, just rely on that artifact mana.
Yeah, with those Thought Seizes and those Fetches, Piper's life taken was actually quite low, so this Brazen Borrower could get there pretty quick, and he has no way of dealing with it in the main deck. He has to go off. That's his only out.
Yeah, with 3 unknowns there, let's see. He's effectively at 6 life right now with that staring
Well,
down that pressure.
LED.
All right. It's not going to be affected by spell pierce here necessarily. He's probably going to like, especially if there's a ad nause that's going to happen. Ad nause whole priority.
Expecting Past in
Oh
Flames.
yeah, good call. Uh,
Yeah, it's ironic. This is the storm deck that's called Ad Nauseum Tendrils, and it doesn't always even run an Ad Nauseum.
what else you got here, Pie Boy? Let's see. Wish Claw Talisman, perhaps, to get what you need,
That's
but
sweet. I like that inclusion.
yeah, I haven't actually tried it, but one of my good friends, Brian Cook, he actually runs 4 of those, and in
Wow.
his list, and it's he doesn't do ant, he does his epic storm thing,
Yeah.
and is able to find a way to use it, plus even bounce it at times before they're able to use that demonic tutor, and it's so good. I
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be the answer here though.
Yeah. Demonic Tutor, I presume, would be in a vintage storm deck.
hmm Uh, I'm almost a little surprised. Oh, there we go. There's your Plasma
Yeah.
Flames. Let's see what Lamb does here. We've got like, I wonder if he just like lets that resolve and then try to counter what's going on because, well, the LED's not cracking.
So he's
But
fetching.
yeah, hard
I
cast
presume
Force of Will.
Pipe Boy's got to cast a few more cards from hand before he can crack the.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the Past in Flames, if it resolves, you
Oh,
sometimes need to do that for the storm count. So
right.
we've got a counter spell here.
Counter spell and
He's,
EOT Stomp plus the Brazen Bar. I
yeah,
think he's dead.
I think it's death. Yeah, he knows it. He's scooped.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah, so that was an interesting. I suspect that the Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual past the turn was an oopsie. And it happens, we've all done it.
Yeah, I probably want to let's see. If we're on Adnan on the play, let's see, we got probably don't even care about the abrupt decays. You're really trying to probably do the empty the Warrens plan here, with Fluster Storms back up, and then Massacre is not likely going to happen there. Yep, that's for the D&T matchup. So Veil of Summer plus Xanadu Swarm. All right.
Yeah, I mean they're yeah, Xanthus Swan's an obvious include here.
Yeah, this is
Um
definitely one part of my game that I don't really necessarily know the ad naz like sideboarding technique. But
Oh,
let's see,
I
we got
couldn't talk to you about sideboarding techniques between the difference between Tezzanant. I could go on about the difference between the decks, but not difference in sideboarding strategies or if there even is a difference.
I'm gonna do my best to try to like navigate this one. So we got like one empty the Warrens, two Fluster Storms, that's three, and then we've got 5 and 7 with the two Veils and Xanadu Swarms. I think the swap here, you probably don't care for Wishclaw Talisman, and then
Probably not.
it just
I think you can also possibly afford to go slightly down on your artifact mana
all right.
because you with the disruption you have you want to set up being able to go off and if you go off a turn later that's still okay
Yeah.
um but yeah you do have to be careful not to over sideboard in decks like this. So what do we think Adventures is going to be bringing in?
Adventures. Let's see. We've got one Legendary Explosive, two Dispel, two Flusterstorm, a few Pyroblasts, and Red Elemental Blast. Relic is eh. Relic of Progenitus is not the greatest. I think. I mean, a lot of people are featuring Soul
Yeah, I
God
mean,
Lantern, and Braid's not going to come in here.
because the preferred plan for Ant is to go fire past in flames, I think you
Mhm.
maybe do want to have your relics in to disrupt that plan.
Yeah, the relics could really pin down. We could probably see never getting up to threshold. So that could impact, any of the tendrils plans. Trying to use the cabal rituals to, really full out go there into an odd nose or something. But I feel like if Pie Boy's going to do it right here, he's probably going to try to go, especially on the play, um, probably sideboarding out some of those duresses and Thoughtseize effects because
Yeah,
it doesn't really care for it. It just wants to be like, all right, well, if you don't have the force, if you don't have the extra force of negation, which looks like there are no force negations on Lamb's side, so
but
we're
yeah,
probably
he's
going to
got
see it.
a slightly different build where he's opted for spell pierces, spell snares, and
Hmm.
archmage's charms rather than any force of negations.
Yeah, Ed Nas is not running Brainstorm, is he? Oh no, he is. Yeah, he's got the
He
Brainstorm.
they
Cool.
run brainstorm but no other draw spells.
All right. So
Oh no,
maybe
sorry,
like,
they have ponder and preordain.
all right,
Um,
perfect.
yeah.
So those red blasts or pyroblasts are still active, but I'm thinking that
Yeah.
Lamb is probably getting rid of his accumulated knowledges because that's not going to give him that much more advantage.
No.
And the James Mind Sculptor. I mean, I know it's a nice fancy win con, but not going to do it here against
I
a combo.
it's too
Activating.
slow for against Storm.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, no, this from that that previous game clearly plays very differently from um Blue Red Delver, which is what it feels at first as though it's a lot like. Okay, so we're preordaining.
Did Pie Boy stick with 7?
I am not sure.
Okay. If he stuck with 7 here, he might be like just trying to craft something new, but um, well, he's lucky here because Lamb doesn't run any wastelands, unlike most of these like tempo type decks.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst he's going to encounter here is probably like Flusterstorm or maybe a Spell Pierce, Spell Snare. Wow, I just noticed that Lamb is not running any dazes at all either.
Yeah,
So
it's
he's
really
just
not actually at all like Blue Red Delver. It's naive of me to think, oh, it's
mm-mm.
Blue Red. It's like Blue Red Delver that just doesn't play Delvers. It is quite a different deck.
Yeah, we've got one end of the spectrum at Blue Red Delver. You're just trying to rattle off as much burn spells as possible and like just finish them within like the shortest amount of time. And then you got like Lamb Fans deck. It's trying to extend the game and like full on control.
Yeah,
It's
and the
I
interesting
mean you
thing,
finish off with Jason, like get that
yeah.
extra draw.
So the interesting thing about Lam Fan's deck is that he doesn't run any draw spells other than the brainstorm and then the accumulated knowledge, which is an interesting choice.
Yep, and I'm not sure what so Pie Boy's gotten 3 lands in there now. So 3 lands pass into a brainstorm and a turn?
Yeah.
Or was that did the yeah, it doesn't huh. I'm confused by this play. It's like I feel like there could have been a lot more like oomph on the Pie Boy side because like
You would
just
hope,
getting
wouldn't you?
to yeah, I mean there's really besides that engineered explosives on land side, there's no easy way for um Lamb to deal with like an army of 10.
Yeah, I think you have to bring in the engineered explosives as the in case they do the empty the Warrens plan.
Yeah, I've definitely died to that many times, and but if you get lucky, you can have that. Is it the static caster or the blazing volley, electrickery? Those are nice like rips off the top, but usually it's going to also get like countered. So well, got some action on Pie Boy's side.
Yep.
LED into. I wonder if
He's the green dice is tracking his storm count and he's just fetched.
well doesn't have the Xanad Swarm. Would have played that a long time ago.
Oh
Um,
yeah, you want to drop that on turn one in a matchup like this.
yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think Xanad Swarm would actually live much longer.
No,
You've
he's
got Bone Crusher and even Brazen Bower to
yeah.
slow it down. Well,
Okay, we
okay,
this happened last game though, so are we going off or not? I'm not
right.
sure. Okay, so Storm is 2, he has 3 black mana.
3 black mana into a Cabal Ritual. There we
Not
go.
not surprising, and it's a Cabal Ritual without Threshold.
Uh huh. And we're making 1 more mana, but increasing to Storm. What do we got? 2, 3.
Should be on Storm
That's got to be 3.
3 now.
Yep. Storm 3. If it resolves, he has the red mana to potentially go to a little bit of goblin action.
Okay,
All right, ad
Infernal
nauseam.
Tutor. Oh no, sorry, yeah, you're right, Ad nauseum.
So
It's
you
got
go
a
add-ons
same color
here.
background as Infernal Cheater. Got confused there.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
this is
Infernal
okay.
Tutor.
That's not gonna resolve.
Nope. Unless we get Pyro, or what do we got from
Does
Adnan's
he
side?
have?
Ooh, the Foster Storm. All
Ah, yes, of
copies.
course. Yeah.
That's pretty tough though. I think there's all right, so if Lamb's here holding multiple, all right, he's got to have a force, right? Oh, there's the
Yeah.
invocation force. There we go. There we go. Okay, force
Pitching
on
brainstorm.
Adnos. Sorry, Doc. The the storm's not going to continue at this point. Oh, Doc was saying let the storm begin.
Yeah, the turn has been passed. The ad nauseum was counted. Which
Yeah.
obviously uses up resources to go ritual, and then have an ad nauseum counted. That is unfortunate. But it's been land and passed back, so let's see what happens.
All right.
Brainstorm.
Brainstorm. Okay, if he's
Rebuilding the hand. Oh, no, it's not brainstorm, it's being pyroblasted.
oh, so Lamb is going the full on control route here. He probably got at least
Yeah.
3 or 4 of those Pyroblast slash Red
Yeah, so
Elemental Blast.
interestingly, he has 3 Pyroblast and 1 Red Elemental Blast. I guess that's tech against things that name a
And
specific
kept that
spell.
AK. Yeah, he.
Oh,
I'm
he has
curious
kept
what
accumulated knowledge. I'd like to hear about that. It feels like a terrible draw spell. Like,
well,
especially for Legacy. 2 mana for 1 card.
but then 2 mana for 2 cards the second time, and then 2 mana for
Yeah,
3
but
cards.
that's a long game if you get to 2 or 3 or 4 of them in your graveyard. I mean, yeah, two mana to draw 4 cards is fantastic. Feels like there's better spells that you could play, maybe.
Yeah,
Like Ponder.
there was this new card that was revealed for Magic 21, or the core set coming up, and I think it was another blue one, but it was essentially another Ancestral Recall. So let me find
Yeah,
that really quick.
they do that every so often. It's like how
I
can
like
we
Ancestral
print
Recalls.
Ancestral Recall, make it playable and not broken, and they rarely manage because they're either unplayable or like Treasure Cruise. They're very quickly banned in every format but Vintage, where it's restricted. And there we have the Relic of Progenitus.
Mm-hmm. Well, this one's going to be a really good relic. So that Ancestral Recall that we're looking at is called. Oh, I just scrolled past an even better anti-storm card called Miscast. Pretty. That's like the 1 mana leak. But see the truth. Look at the top 3 cards, and then you get to you get to put one of those in your hand, unless you actually cast a spell that was not cast from your turn this turn. So then sorcerer speed. So definitely, I would say this could replace the AK route, but and especially if you see the truth and you draw 3 cards, that's
Yeah.
some value right there.
Oh, we got a white bordered Snapcaster Mage.
Oh man, Lamb and all his altars. I'm pretty sure Lamb does these altars himself.
Yeah, I mean, white bordering cards seems to be getting quite widespread.
Yeah, I mean, one of our mods alone. I mean, Rad. He's been whiteboarding his old school deck, showing us his what was it, mono black control, and it's all
Yeah.
whiteboard.
Yeah,
Fortunately,
there's a
yeah,
judge somewhere in your kind of area who whiteboard his cards.
yeah. Which deck does he play?
So it's a they.
Mm.
Actually, they've played Enchantress. Did quite well, I think, in some events.
Oh, very cool. Do they also like play other? Is it just only Legacy, or is it just
Do you know, I don't know them very well. I've mostly talked to them about playing Legacy. Um, I met them at a Star City Games Invitational in New Jersey many years ago.
okay. Yeah, that's when we still had Star City Games Legacy events, right?
Oh, do they not do them anymore?
No, not in the states anymore. Or, I mean, it's not like they're doing them internationally necessarily, but we have zero Legacy events for the rest of
Oh,
the year, except
that's a
for
shame because I mean, in England we don't have an equivalent to Star City Games. We have but we just don't. But in Europe there is a tournament series run by Magic Card Market, and they do vintage and legacy, and often old school as well.
very cool. Well,
So
looks
the
like
Brazen
we
Borrower wins that match.
yep, the Brazen Bar getting that 2 for 1. There were 4 Snapcasters and oh wait, no, 2 Brazen Bars and then 4
Only two, and we
yeah,
saw one of them both games.
right. And that's all you really need. I think that's the right. When Lem played against me, he was playing 4 of each, which was a little extreme, but he made it work, and I think he definitely has cracked a little bit of this like maybe the value side of control and like being able to understand at a higher level, hopefully, of what it really takes to play control because I
Yeah.
don't really understand like the adventure.
I wonder if he brought in the true name Nemesis instead of the Brazen Borrower.
Yeah, it's quite possible that Llama got rid of the true names too,
I mean, True Name
because
Nemesis can be an incredibly powerful card. It doesn't need to fly. Um,
nope,
maybe he wasn't finding the single bounce was as much use as having a very card that's very strong once it's on the table.
exactly.